Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Finally got my hair cut. I mean, this is a praise Jesus moment, people. I got my hair cut. It is amazing what getting a haircut will make you feel like. It made me feel like my face looked different. It was much needed, as we all know. Okay, let's talk about today's video. Because I'm going to be talking about a powder foundation that I have absolutely fallen in love with. And that does not happen. In fact, there is one powder foundation that I can think of that I actually enjoy using by itself. I have used many powder foundations to set makeup or something like that, even use as a bronzer if it's dark enough. However, I don't find many that I like to use as an actual foundation. The Jane Iredale pressed base I love as a foundation. That's pretty much it. But I bought this one that we're going to be talking about, and it's the Alima Pure Satin Matte Foundation off of Detox Market, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago. Just to give it a try, it's a loose powder foundation. I feel like I have even less luck with those. I am one of the people that I just have never been able to get the Bare Minerals loose to work for me. And it just breaks my heart because it looks gorgeous on everybody else, but I just cannot get it to work. So I was like, I'm going to give this one more shot, and I actually really enjoy it. So I'm going to show you how I use it, how it looks, all that jazz. Now, I have done my eye makeup and I've done my brows, but I haven't done my corrector because I wanted to make it a point to show you that I make sure to do all of my cream products first. So I'm going to be doing my corrector, my primer, my concealer, everything first before I apply this powder foundation. I've tried this with 3 different primers. I've tried it with the Ilia True Skin Radiant Priming Serum, with the Glow Skin Tinted Primer SPF 30, and the Beautycounter Instant Glow Illuminating Cream. I know that I've talked a lot lately about not using primers that much anymore. Occasionally I will if I want something to be super glowy, but I don't really have a need to make anything more matte. But when I'm using a powder foundation, I do find that in my experience, you do need something underneath it to give it a little bit of tack. So I do like to lay down some kind of primer. And I will say that my favorite out of all of them is the Glow Skin Tinted Primer, but it is tinted and don't. AC painted them. I have proceeded to pick it off, and I didn't fix it before this video, so let's just try to ignore that atrocity. It is a tinted primer. Now when you rub it out, it's not like a huge difference, but I didn't want anybody being like, well, yeah, it's tinted, it's going to give a little bit of extra coverage. Of course, it's going to look better underneath. So I'm going to use one that's not tinted today. Before I do my corrector, concealer, or anything, I am going to put that on. So I'm going to use the Ilia True Skin Radiant Priming Serum. And this is exactly what it says. It's a serum. It's clear, it's lightweight, but it does leave behind a very nice tack. So I like to rub in initially and then just kind of pat it on just to give something to grip onto. Now I'm going to go in with my Fit Glow Beauty. I almost said First Aid Beauty. Not First Aid Beauty. Primer or corrector. Apparently I don't know what anything's called today. And this is in the color Peach. I'm just going to apply that like I normally do. My allergies are out the wazoo horrible. I thought that I was going to have to lay in bed all day yesterday with my headache. It was so bad. It's a little bit better this morning, but when my allergies are this bad, my dark circles get even worse. Just where my darkness is the worst. And this is the Conceal and Correct brush by Fit Glow Beauty, which I absolutely love for this. I'm going to put a little bit on my discoloration on my nose, and then a little bit, I have like a little discoloration ring around my top lip, so I'll put a little bit there. So already I look like way more awake. But I have to do all of the cream and liquid first. So I'm going to go in with the concealer that I'm going to use today, which, surprise, surprise, is the Kosas Beauty Revealer Concealer. And I'm going to put that on just like I normally would. And this, like when I first tried this powder foundation and I knew that I needed to do all these steps first, was like, this feels so weird. I have no foundation on, but I'm putting all of this concealer on. But it works out, I promise. It makes it way easier. I'm not saying that you can't put a liquid concealer once you've already put powder foundation, but it makes it much harder. I've got the concealer on. I actually also want to set the concealer before I do this foundation. Again, not something you have to do, but I choose to do it in this order, and I'm just going to use my normal Pat McGrath powder. Now we are going to go into the foundation. I am in the color Neutral 4, and I'll read just a tad about it. So this is a mineral foundation. It is from Alima Pure, which is more of like a clean brand. I got this on Detox Market. It has 32 shades, which I think is excellent shade range. It cost, how much does it cost? Where's the price? Oh, there it is, $28. And I'm in the color Neutral 4. Now, this is a foundation that claims to be hypoallergenic. It says it goes on easy, feels like nothing at all, evens out your skin tone, enhances your complexion, and reduces the appearance of fine lines and pores using only the purest mineral pigments. So when I went down to the ingredients to look at it, it literally has 4 ingredients: mica, titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, and iron oxides. It currently on Detox Market has 124 5-star reviews. So I think that's why, I don't know if I heard somebody mention it like on a YouTube video or what, and it just piqued my interest. I mean, all you have to say is a foundation, and I'm like, oh, what? I'll try it. I'm like a dog with a bone when it comes to foundations. So I just wanted to pull my hair out of my face. Now I've tried this with many different brushes, and I'm going to show you my top 3. If I want like a more detailed application per se, I'll use a little bit of a smaller brush. This is the buffing brush by Real Techniques. I have used the BK Beauty 105 brush, the very dense brush that I have used for bronzer before. Also really like that one. And then I saw somebody else use it in a video using the Bare Minerals Beautiful Finish brush. So that is what I'm going to use today. You can see it's been well loved, and it has this little hollow down here. I bought this with the hopes that it would get the Bare Minerals foundation to work for me, and I just couldn't get it to work for me like I could this one. Now I may go back to it now that I have fallen in love with this one so much, but right now this one is still leaps and bounds above for me. So I'm going to this is empty cap, doesn't have anything in it, but you can see that's where I kind of swirl it. I'm going to tap the product into the cap. I don't know if you can see the color there. And I will say that when I like kind of swirl it in this brush, it doesn't all get sucked up by the brush like the Bare Minerals does. Like I feel like I can swirl it just this much in the Bare Minerals cap and all of the foundation will be in the brush. I don't feel like that with this, but that's okay. I'm just going to try to get as much of the pigment into the bristles as possible. And then I'm just going to start buffing. Lightly at first, because I don't want anything to like tug on the skin. And I kind of want to put down that base layer. I am going to make sure not to get too near the underneath of my eye where I put that concealer. Because even though I've set the concealer, I don't want to disturb it if I don't have to. I'm just going to keep buffing. I have always been told that the more you buff a mineral foundation, the more coverage you are going to get out of that foundation. Like it almost just needs to warm up to your skin. I'm getting a little red here because my skin is not sensitive, but it's reactive. So if I'm really rubbing a lot on it, then it's going to get pink. That will dial down. Now I'm going to try it on the other side, but I just want to see if you see any kind of difference on this side minus the little bit of redness. It's just very even. It's not covering up like my little spots. It's not doing that. It's just evening out my skin tone versus this side looks a little more splotchy. It doesn't look as smooth. You can see some more redness. So let's see if we can fix that by buffing in this foundation. And here's what I've learned with this. Unless you put like a tinted product underneath it, it's not going to cover all my redness. But if it were to cover all my redness, it's going to be more noticeable as a product on my face. And when it comes to the summer And this time of year where I don't want to look as caked on, I mean, I really don't ever want to look caked on. I don't necessarily want a really super full coverage product. Okay, so this is the foundation buffed in. So again, I can still see some of my redness, but I can't see the definitive lines as much as my face settles down after I buff it in. It does have a really pretty skin-like finish. This, I know it says it's a satin matte. I don't have oily skin, so I can't attest to how it works on oily skin, but on me, because of the mica and the titanium dioxide, it gives this really pretty skin-like, almost luminous finish. Not right off the bat, but throughout the day, it just gets like, once it sinks into my skin even more, it gets even prettier. This is something that truly gets prettier throughout the day. And it's super quick. So I'm going to speed through. I'm going to film me doing the rest of my face. And of course, I'll link everything below per usual, but I'm going to speed through it. And then I will come back and tell you my final thoughts and review. And this is the finished look with a powder foundation, y'all. I have never gotten a look like this with a powder foundation. I am so excited about this product. I've been using it the past probably 5 days so that I could review it for you and test it out with the different brushes and different primers. And if you can't tell, I really actually love this. I think for the upcoming season of summer and it being hot and muggy, sometimes the last thing I want is anything liquid on my face that is just going to feel like it's gooping up and running off. That's where something like this comes in, to where I don't have to worry about that. I don't feel like it's running off. It does last all day. Like, I don't feel like I get more red. Like, I don't feel like my redness shows through more throughout the day. As I said earlier, it kind of just sinks into the skin, melds with the warmth of your skin, and looks like skin more and more the longer you have it on. So who do I think this is for? I think it's for anyone who maybe has tried a loose powder foundation in the past, hasn't gotten it to work for them, or has tried one and likes it, but maybe it doesn't have the ingredients they want for it to have in it. Because I know the Bare Minerals has the bismuth something, I can't ever remember, but it causes a lot of irritation and can be almost burning and itchy on the skin. I don't have that issue, but I know a lot of people that do. So this has obviously the least amount of products of any other product I think I have in my collection. Or if you are somebody who has always wanted to try a powder foundation but have been very intimidated by them, because I totally get that. It can be very weird to look at this loose powder that looks like you should be setting your foundation and thinking it's going to actually serve as your foundation. I totally get that. I don't necessarily think that there's anybody who can't use this. I know a lot of people will say, well, mature skin shouldn't use as much powder on their skin. However, when you buff it into your skin with whatever brush you choose to, it almost becomes creamier on your skin, for lack of a better word to describe it. It melts in with your skin. I don't find that it settles into my like smile lines or anything like that. And especially if you use some kind of mist that you saw me use. This is the Beautycounter Rose Water, but truly like any kind of mist that you like to set your makeup with, that's going to help kind of melt it into the skin as well. So really, if you are just intrigued by a powder foundation or love powder foundations and want to try another one, this is going to be for you. I don't know why I'm showing you this, because it's just this. Now, Alima Pure does have brushes as well. So if you don't have a brush that you think would work, you could buy that, or you could use any of the ones that I have talked about today, because they all work well, or you could use something completely different. Totally up to you. But as for me, I'm going to be using this a lot this summer, because it is already starting to get very humid and muggy, and it's been in the 80s for the past few days, and I never feel like if I'm outside that my makeup's just getting gross, which is huge for me in the summer in Tennessee. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I know I don't think I've ever reviewed, I mean, the sun is out, y'all. Maybe that's better. I don't know. It is really out. I don't think I've ever reviewed a powder foundation, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you are all staying safe and healthy and sane, and that most of all you go out and have a very blessed day.